Hey friends, Chris here. Got a little update for us for the gathering at my house next Sunday. What is it? May 17th at 5 p.m. So, same leadership time, May 17th at 5 p.m. We are going to be in person unless something crazy changes with Young Life. So, here are some important announcements that you need to know about to set our time up for amazing success. First thing you need is to bring a lawn chair. We are going to be exclusively outside in my backyard under the lights because we trust that our family is healthy, but you might not, and I would never want to put anybody in that position. And so, obviously, our bathrooms and our refrigerator, our drinks, all like everything will be accessible. So if you feel comfortable, that's cool. Um, but we would also want you to bring a personal meal for our dinner time just to eliminate another burden of stress that might swell up or anxiety that might swell up in your heart, not knowing where Katie, myself, and our kids have been during this season. So, just to summarize so far, bring a personal lawn chair and bring a personal meal. Okay? Coolers are fine. You can bring a cooler. Think of it as a picnic camping outing in our backyard. The next thing that I'd like for you to process before you get to my house Sunday, May 17th at 5 p.m. is this. What school and what grade kids do you feel called to reach in the 2020-2021 school year? Emphasis on called. Have you prayed about it? Have you prayed about next school year and where God is calling you to lead kids to Jesus? Please do that this week because everything that we're going to do and say, I want you to be thinking of those kids in that school and how we can build relationships in that context. Okay, 3 questions that I'd like for you to process outside of school and grade over the next week. And I'd like for you to bring your journal with your answers to this question because it's going to help our time. Think about this. The month is May, maybe the same day that we're on right now, May 10th. And the year is 2021, a year from now. What do you want your personal ministry to look like? Who are the faces that are there? Who are the adults that are investing in your ministry? What's the neighborhood look like that you are dropping kids off at after club or campaigners or an event, camp, whatever it is? How many kids are following you and looking to you as their spiritual mentor? How many kids have you had conversations about Jesus with? How many kids are you in relationship with a year from now? And so that's the place that I want us to start. Now that you know your school and you know the grade of kids that you're going to be running after, what do you want it to look like after you soil or tend the soil of that school for one whole calendar year? What's it going to look like? We have to start there. So we're going to begin with the end in mind. And then the way that you answer those questions, we're going to put a strategy to that. And we're going to set you up to have an amazingly fruitful ministry, both in the joy that you experience and the joy that kids get to experience knowing Jesus. So we're going to set you up to do that really well. The second thing I'd like for you to process, and the ice cream truck is here, so maybe that'll be here next week so we can all run out like little kids of our childhood and go get some ice cream. What would it take for you to meet 3 new kids per month from August 2020, this year, to just December of 2020? So for about 6 months, what would it take for you to meet 3 new kids per month? 18 kids total. Because here's the deal. If we have 12 leaders on our team, 12 adult leaders as it stands right now, and you multiply that by 3 each month, bare minimum, right? That's 36 kids times 6. That can't be right. 36 times 6. That is 216 new kids. Okay, that changes everything because the statistics that come back on our relationships with kids is that about a quarter of those kids that we're meeting and running after will come to club. And so when you take a quarter, that's 54 new kids coming to club in a 6-month time frame. That is incredible. That's over double the amount of kids, way over double the amount of kids that we currently have coming to our clubs. Okay, so that changes everything, and that's what I want us to start thinking about and dreaming about because it's doable, and we're going to put a plan to this. So, what would it take for you to meet 3 new kids per month? Less than 1 kid per week. I know math, it doesn't work like that, but the math says less than 1 kid per week. And then, who in your life would you consider a potential leader for next school year? The time is now. The time is now for us to be thinking and praying of our friends who might have expressed a calling to introduce kids to Jesus and help them follow him. The time is now. They would need to feel called and be available to do at least 2 hours of contact work a week and serve at club. So have that in mind when you're thinking of them. So that is kind of our time in a nutshell next week. We're going to process those questions and share those questions over our meal. And then I'm going to lay out so far my dreams and vision for the next school year. So a 1-year vision, and then the beginning stages of our ministry strategy that I took away from my time at Brilliant at the Basics cohort. And you guys are actually invited to go and do that cohort. I've mentioned that a few times, but you'll see a link in this email. Click it, sign up. It's on Thursdays for 4 weeks from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. This will help you process the questions I've had you answer, and then it will help us together, because we're all bought into this. It will help us together create a ministry strategy that works for us. Not for Lubbock, Texas, and Gainesville, Texas, and all those Texas people who are doing great ministry. It's going to help us in North St. Johns County, Florida, meet our kids where they are and introduce them to Jesus. It's going to give us a plan. It's going to give us a path. And it's going to give us a passion in our heart to tell as many kids about Jesus that we can possibly tell in our time that we get to be a part of the Young Life ministry. Beyond that, in our time together, we are going to write cards individually to kids. We're going to stick them in the mail the next day. I will. You can also. And then we are going to do something special for our seniors, which if some of our seniors are listening, I'm not going to tell you what it is because we're going to actually ask you to leave before we do this because it's for you. We want to make this end of your high school career special, and so we'll do that together as a leadership team without the seniors there. So thank you guys for watching this video. Can't wait to be with you guys next week. It is going to be so good. Even if our time is terrible and unfruitful, it'll be good to be with you. But it won't be terrible and unfruitful. It's going to be an awesome time. So 5 p.m. May 17th, next Sunday. See you guys then.